Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing okay. So a little bit of news I've coming across here. I've heard this doing the rounds. For those of you who don't know, I work in the entertainment industry as a visual effects animator. And so, talking about the business, the industry, shows, films, and stuff is like, part of what I do, is part of my job. And I've come across this, and I've heard this doing the rounds. And basically, the gist is that because of a dream Joaquin Phoenix had about a theme of the Joker being more of a Broadway play type vibe, the the blame for its failure, its critical failure, ultimately rests with him. I have a lot of problems with this, mainly because the filmmaking process is a collaborative thing. You have a director, you have writers, you have a studio, and these elements are supposed to work together to help create a product people want to see, ultimately. And a large chunk of that, obviously, is the director's job and the editor's job, etc. Um, so for me personally, when I look at this and I look at all the details, what really stands out to me, I mean, look, anyone can have a first pitch of a thing. Oh, I think this would be quite cool. Anyone can do that. It's not, having the first idea is not the same thing as, the final product. There's a long, drawn out process in between where lots of people get involved and they all contribute and they all try and create something that looks amazing and cool. Um, so blaming Joaquin for this, unless more information comes out, to me, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. For now, where I place the blame predominantly is here. According to Hollywood Reporter, Phillips, the director, was given 20 million to direct the film, as well as an extraordinary level of autonomy on Final Cut. That means he had full creative content over the film, which was not screened for test audiences. Stars Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga reportedly earned 20 million and 12 million respectively, which only increased the film's massive budget. Now, I haven't got a problem with actors and directors getting paid because you make assumptions based on the response to the first one, which made a hell of a lot of money, and you kind of go, okay, well, assuming this has a similar trajectory, which at the time you're making it, there's no reason to assume not, and that's how negotiations are done. You basically get a paycheck that sort of reflects what they believe you'll add to it. Your sort of star audience pulling power. But that's for me. That's not really the cost isn't necessarily the issue for me. It's this. The director had full control, and there was no test audience screenings. That's a problem, and it basically means to me that like the reception it's getting rests there. The job of the studio is to kind of try and keep the director in check. And to sort of remind the director and sort of ensure that, okay, look, we're trying to create a product people want to see. The goal is to make money, believe it or not. That is the ultimate goal. Because without money, people don't get paid. Without money, you don't make other films. People have lives to live, people have bills to pay, etc., etc. The goal is to make something people want to watch, and it's like I said, it's a collaborative process. Unless you're like an incredibly good director with a very long track record of being able to consistently produce good things like that you're doing yourself, like a Steven Spielberg or a Scorsese or a oh man, what was his name? Reservoir Dogs. God damn it, what was his name? Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino. I cannot believe his name just escaped my brain then for a second. Quentin Tarantino, where you have a track record of being able to do this, you shouldn't really be left in a position to do it. It kind of reminds me of what was it now? Who was the director? Who made that film? It was a X and one. Who directed this? Bryan Singer. There we go, Bryan Singer. So Bryan Singer was the director of the first X-Men film. Okay, did very well, was a massive success. How much did it make? Okay, look, that's amazing. Budget $75 million. Obviously, this is a little while ago, so money was worth more back then. And it made a lot of money in return. So they were very, very happy about that. After the success of this, they basically gave Bryan Singer quite a lot of rope to make the next film, which was the Superman film. Let's have a look down here. Bryan Singer, Superman. Superman Returns. Now, I don't know if anyone watched that film, but it wasn't particularly good. And again, part of the reason is that Bryan Singer, despite what people may think, not a you know doesn't have that track record as a director, in my humble opinion, and was basically left alone to kind of go, okay, well, you made us a lot of money for this. We're going to let you have some free rope to make this one because we feel we can trust you a little bit, and it did not do very well at all. In fact, that was a pretty boring film, in my humble opinion, pretty boring. So for me, it's a similar issue to what happened here. Was basically that you've got a director which didn't want to liaise with the studios. Apparently, there's a lot of issues there, and ultimately this just fell between the cracks. That's probably the best way I can put it. There wasn't enough collaboration. There wasn't enough checks and balances, and the end result was a lot of money spent and not lot of money made, which is not very good. Anyway, that's just my little rant. This was on my mind. A few people have been talking about it, so I thought I'd throw my own thoughts in there. And yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Take care.